The American Way of Eating is a powerful piece of undercover investigative journalism. Tracy McMillan immerses herself in the United States food system by working low-wage jobs in the fields, supermarkets, and restaurants to understand how food is grown, distributed, sold, and consumed, and how economic inequality shapes access to healthy food. Tracy McMillan begins with a personal and political question. Why is good food so hard to come by for so many Americans? She pushes back on the idea that healthy eating is just about making better choices. Instead, she explores how income, geography, labor, and policy all impact access to fresh, nutritious food. She sets out to live and work alongside the people who make the food system function: laborers, stockers, cooks, in an immersive, investigative journey across America. Why food matters. McMillan, an experienced journalist, begins by challenging the notion that food is a luxury issue, something only the privileged worry about. Instead, she argues that access to nutritious, affordable food is a fundamental social issue, deeply connected to class, race, and politics in America. Note that many countries are in far more worse condition in economy, labor, and systems, so the lessons here can also be applied to other countries, but must be tweaked depending the circumstances. Part 1. California's Central Valley. Picking produce. Jobs: garlic peeler, grape picker. Location: Arvin and Delano. California. McMillan begins in California's Central Valley, where much of America's produce is grown. She joins a largely immigrant and undocumented labor force, often working more than 12 hours in heat for extremely low pay. Daily life and conditions. She gets paid per bucket or clove rather than hourly, often making less than $30 a day. In some regions of the world, this is a high pay, but low in the US due to the cost of living. Housing is overcrowded, unsafe, and segregated. Workers frequently endure physical pain, pesticide exposure, and lack medical care. Many workers rely on junk food or fast food due to long hours and low wages. Key insights: the cost of cheap produce is borne by the farmers or laborers who grow it. These workers can't afford to eat the healthy food they harvest. Immigration status, language barriers, and fear of retaliation keep them from organizing for better conditions. Legal documentations are important. Emotional impact. McMillan experiences the fatigue, humiliation, and invisibility that come with working in the fields. She highlights the dignity and resilience of her co-workers, many of whom are providing for families, but shows how the system dehumanizes them. Takeaway: the abundance of cheap produce in supermarkets is built on the exploitation of labor. The American food system's low prices come at a human cost. This is also similar in many countries, or much worse. Part 2. Detroit and suburban Michigan. Selling food to the public. Job: produce associate at Walmart location, Dearborn, Michigan. Next, she moves to Michigan to examine how food reaches consumers. She takes a job in the produce section of Walmart, one of the largest food retailers in the US. What she learns: Walmart's focus is on keeping shelves full and visually appealing, not food quality. Employees have minimal training on nutrition or food handling. Stock often spoils because it's shipped long distances and handled poorly. Walmart dominates food access in many low-income and rural areas. Customer realities: shoppers rely on SNAP and shop in bulk to stretch dollars. Healthy food is often more expensive than processed alternatives. There's a lack of cooking knowledge due to generational poverty and time constraints. Community observations: in Detroit, many neighborhoods are food deserts, lacking full-service grocery stores. Transportation is a major barrier for families without cars. Fast food is often more accessible and cheaper than fresh food. Takeaway: the food system isn't just about availability, it's about affordability, education, and infrastructure. Even when fresh food is nearby, many can't afford it, don't know how to prepare it, or don't have the time or tools to cook it. Part 3. Brooklyn, New York, cooking America's food. Job: line cook at a chain restaurant. Location: Brooklyn, New York. In the final section, Macmillan works at a casual dining chain restaurant, similar to Applebee's. She explores how Americans eat when they don't cook at home, which is increasingly common. Inside the kitchen, most dishes arrive frozen or pre-prepared. Staff are reheating, not cooking. Meals are engineered for flavor and profit, not nutrition, loaded with sugar, salt, and fat. Workers are underpaid, overworked, and easily replaceable. Food safety and cleanliness are often afterthoughts during rush hours. Cultural dynamics: customers believe they are getting a fresh, homemade experience. Restaurants serve as an escape or treat for many families. Many employees also rely on the restaurant for their own meals, often unhealthy, leftover, or comped. Broader reflection: the fast casual model dominates American dining, especially for low and middle-income families. Americans eat outside the home, not just for convenience, but because the food system and their jobs don't allow time or energy for cooking. Conclusions in the book: food inequality is systemic. Access to healthy food is heavily influenced by socio-economic status. It's not just about personal choices, but structural barriers: wages, housing, transportation, and education. Healthy eating isn't a choice for many Americans. It's a privilege. The poor often have no access to fresh food, no time to cook, and no knowledge of nutrition due to systemic failures in education, wages, housing, and healthcare. The labor behind food is invisible. The people who grow, stock, and serve America's food are underpaid and overworked. Without their labor, the system collapses, yet they are treated as expendable. Every step of the food system, from field to shelf to plate, relies on cheap, vulnerable labor. Workers are systematically underpaid, and the entire supply chain is built to maintain low costs and high profits at their expense. Policy and profit drive: what we eat. Government subsidies, corporate consolidation, and market pressures shape what foods are cheap and available. The illusion of choice hides a system designed for profit, not health. Corporate control dominates. Corporations, from agribusiness to Walmart to chain restaurants, control what food is produced, where it goes, and how much it costs. Their priority is profit, not public health. The illusion of choice hides deep consolidation. Real solutions are holistic. Improving access to food means raising wages, supporting worker rights, investing in education, and rethinking how we value and distribute food. We need a systems approach. To fix food access in America, we need to raise wages and improve working conditions, reinvest in local food systems and independent grocers, educate people on cooking and nutrition, address food deserts with better urban planning and public transit, enforce labor and health regulations across the food chain. The American way of eating is a compelling, empathetic, and deeply human investigation into the food system's inequalities. Macmillan's hands-on approach gives voice to the people often ignored in conversations about food, the workers and consumers at the bottom of the chain. Macmillan ends with a note on hope. While the food system is broken, her experience shows that people, whether laborers or consumers, care about food, fairness, and dignity. Change is possible when we recognize food access as a right, not a luxury. Subscribe and share. Thanks.